I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe. Everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This will be past, present, or future you or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, just simply email me. Remember that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. And it's a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. Thank you for your kindness, your love, and your support. All are welcome on the channel, and all contributions are highly appreciated. Let's tap into the tarot. Let's see what's going on. Okay. The first card that we have here, collective, is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, you could be maybe saving. You could be being more wise. More responsible when it comes to your finances. There could be some kind of goal you're trying to meet. Maybe you're trying to save to make a large purchase. Maybe you're preparing to make some big change in your life. You could be expecting a child as well. Congratulations. You may find out that you're pregnant or you're expecting a child is on the way. Maybe you've gotten someone pregnant. Okay. Okay, and so you could be saving your coins, preparing for this new life, this new child to come into your life. You want to make sure that everything is different. I'm hearing maybe different from maybe the first child you've had, or maybe different from other people's experiences. Okay, maybe someone who's been privy to witness other people's parenting skills. Maybe you have someone around you whom you witness having a child and they weren't prepared. Doesn't mean that they're a bad person, but maybe you witness the ebbs and flows, the good times and bad times. And you probably said to yourself, well, when I have my child, I want to make sure that I'm prepared. And so that's the energy I'm picking up here. You want to be prepared. So you're not nervous or stressed out. You're just being very wise when it comes to your finances. You're not circulating or spending as much as you usually do. You're only purchasing or attaining what's necessary. Okay. With the Eight of Swords here, I'm picking up that you're trying to avoid, which is wonderful, being in a situation where you're experiencing some kind of hardship that will be difficult to come from. This could be due to the changes in the economy. Maybe, like a light bulb has to have switched on. You're like, look, I'm going to make some changes, So it's like you're shifting your perception. There's a judgment that has been called, and it's like you're shifting your perception regarding how you feel when it comes to your money and your finances. Instead of being negative and going into that stinking thinking and that pity theory or mentality, instead of complaining like a lot of people are doing, we should really put our energy and time on finding solutions, because the more you complain and put yourself in that negative space, you'll just draw more negative energy to you. But the beautiful thing that I'm picking up, that you're doing just that. You're not complaining. You're finding ways to go within the flow of life as these changes happen, because we're always in the energy of some type of metamorphosis or of evolution. So things will always be changing around us, inside and out. That's normal. And you have an understanding of this. And so you have went into reflection mode, collective, to make sure that you're ready to accept the adjustments. You're able to adapt to the adjustments, whether it's economic, whether it's a living situation, a work situation, maybe some kind of relationship. You're very mature. This is very positive energy here. You're very smart and very mature, male or female, whoever you are. You're very no nonsense, okay? Very confident, lots of self-love. Like I said, you're prepping for this child. You're not sitting around saying, oh, I'm about to have a baby. They went up on milk. No, you're saying, no, I'm about to take the right steps and make sure that I'm saving. Possibly, when I see diapers on sale, I'll stock up on them. I'll buy things wholesale, or maybe I'll just be more wiser with my money. I won't spend as much as I usually spend. And so you're learning to create a savings, create an emergency fund, things like that. So you're making positive moves. You're making a lot of progress. It's something about this Eight of Swords energy, though. You have been in observation. You have witnessed many people suffer, and many people sacrifice themselves in their happiness because they chose not to accept the judgment or the change, that was taking place in your life. But you are doing the opposite. So it looks like you've learned from observation, which is beautiful, okay, and which is part of your path and part of your mission, as we are here on planet Earth to learn, okay? And so that's why you're in the energy with the Three of Wands here. Spirit is saying you keep this same energy. It's going to lead you moving forward to more progress and to more opportunities, pivoting you in a direction that will lead you to resources, different things that you want to accomplish in life will come with ease. Not to say life will be perfect, but will come with ease because you have a different perspective and perception when it comes to how to adult, when it comes to the adulting, when it comes to being responsible. You're, like I said, many people sit around and just complain, and that gets you nowhere. We all live here on planet Earth. We all see the news. We know what's going on in the world. It makes no sense to sit around and constantly complain about what gas is costing, what bread is costing. Because the fact is, you're here on planet Earth, number one. And number two, you're going to purchase whatever is necessary. You're going to purchase, no matter who you are, whatever is necessary for you. So there's no sense of wasting your energy complaining, because that's going to draw more negative energy to you. That's going to draw more topics for you to complain about. And then sooner or later, you just have just be saturated in a bunch of negative energy, to the point of every time you go out your door, maybe to buy groceries or to pay a bill or to purchase something, you have to pay the high price. You're not able to find those sales or notice those discounts because you're in such a negative mindset. Yes, that's how energy works, but you're doing opposite here, okay? It's like you're giving yourself your own balance in your life. You're creating your own justice. You're taking accountability and you're being responsible. You could have a lot of people in shock also, collective, regarding at the actions that you're taking, because you're very mature. Family and friends could be speaking highly of you, just in awe, like, wow, we can't believe, the collective is doing well. Yes, they're having a baby, but they're prepared, they're ready, stocking up on those onesies, on those diapers and anything, milk, creating a savings account, all those kind of things, an emergency fund, having better spending habits, also creating savings for yourself, okay, and learning how to make the right decisions, being willing to sit with yourself and connect with source. To receive direction rather than focus on following those who are around you, okay? And so, yeah, that's another quality that you have. You're very spiritually in tune. Doesn't matter what your belief system is. All are welcome on this channel. But you're willing to communicate with Source. You're willing to go within. You're willing to take your time. You're not a reactionary. And so this is what brings you success. This is what is going to bring you abundance and prosperity. This is what's going to make your path much smoother. Not perfect, but much smoother, rather than someone who is, irresponsible, or negative with their thinking, with their talking, you're very proud, to be a new parent. Congratulations once again. Okay. Or if you're about to make a large purchase, it could be a home or a car. You're very proud of this. You're very proud of yourself. And it is an achievement and it is something to celebrate, especially when you set a goal and you're able to accomplish it. It is a wonderful feeling and you should celebrate yourself and be proud and pat yourself on the back, just for being, it takes a lot of confidence and strength for a person to follow the rules when nobody is looking, follow the rules when no one is there, threatening you or telling you you better do this or else. That's extremely very powerful and very wise of you. You're very responsible. There are many people who they just go their own way, and then when things occur, it's a pity party. Oh, woe, it's me. But you're taking every effort that you have to do your best, and that's the kind of energy that pulls, better, good energy to you. That's the kind of energy that pulls that prosperity and that abundance to you, and great job opportunities, okay? And the right relationships, okay? That has a healthy connection, reciprocity, if you're buying a house, finding the right house that you're looking for the right amount, the right rate, or maybe you're applying for a loan, okay? Everyone has different ways about how they go about purchasing homes. Some people pay cash right out. Some people take out mortgages. Maybe you are going to take out a loan and find the perfect rate to fit your budget, and everything runs smoothly. Everything's just perfect, right house, right neighborhood, right pricing, everything's approved, and your transitions from the old home to the new home, everything works smooth, that kind of energy, you have a positive mindset. And so clearly, this reading is just conveying the benefits of having a different perspective and perception of life. No matter who you are or what your life looks like in this moment, can really strike a mighty blow and make a major change for the good. It's all about your perception and just not giving up, being persistent, continuing to build the momentum, continuing to establish yourself and reaching for those goals, because they are obtainable for you, no matter what it looks like. Spirit is saying it's always a wonderful idea to stay focused on your craft, stay focused on building and pouring into yourself. Do not be distracted, okay? Do not allow people, places, and things outside of you to make you feel or pull on your energy as if you cannot manage, or you won't meet your goal, or you won't get that job, or I don't know why you're looking, you're not going to find a car, or, ooh, those rates are too high. And, this is why, also, while I'm saying all this, a lot of people keep their business to themselves, because people become very envious and jealous when they hear about any progress, and people will speak against your plans. And so it's good to keep your business to yourself if you are preparing to make some sort of large purchase. Spirit is saying keep that business to yourself. You need no one speaking over your ideas or your plans, because that's how energy works, baby. It's not always some hocus pocus or someone standing over a cauldron or burning a candle. It can be as simple as you sharing too much of your business with people. You're sharing your plans with them. And as soon as you turn your back or you're not in their presence, they're speaking against you. For instance, you're trying to buy a house. Oh, I don't know why they're trying to buy a house. The economy is this and the economy is that, or maybe you want to relocate to another state. You don't want to live in the state or the city where you live. I don't know why they're trying to leave. This is not the right time. All that negative talk, all that hateration, it just projects negative seeds of doubt onto your path and your journey. And I'm not saying that you can't obtain or maintain your goal, but things will run a lot smoother, collective, if you make sure you get into the habit of keeping your business and your plans to yourself. Things about your relationship romantically with your partner, your finances, or anything regarding progress, regarding you or your children or your spouse. Keep it private. My rule is you don't have to follow it, but I'm going to share it with you. I am not going to tell you anything. You will find out organically. And when I say organically, not from me. When it's time for anything to be known or seen, you will see it in its own timing, and it won't come from me. You will hear about it in its own timing, and it won't come from me. We have to get out of the habit of wanting to show and tell as if we're in grade school. You can work much better and have more peace in your life. There's a lot of things we can have a conversation about. If you're looking for conversation pieces, there's a lot of topics that we can speak about besides our own personal business. Get into the habit of keeping your ish to yourself. I don't care if you're planning on making lasagna tomorrow and you ran out of ricotta cheese. Guess what? Don't tell nobody you ran out of ricotta, and don't tell nobody that you're going to make lasagna. Guess what? Just do it. And they'll know it if they happen to come over and see it, or if they happen to come over and smell it like, what are you cooking? But to always want to advertise and give people directions and the blueprint to come and project onto you, It's just ain't wise. It just ain't smart. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Somebody likes to say, you know what I mean, because I don't be talking like that, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? You have to keep your business to yourself. With the Ten of Pentacles, if you want peace, you have to learn to be a mystic. It is nobody's business what you are doing or who you are screwing. Yes, I just said that. It's nobody's business. If they happen, it's not that you're hiding. If a person finds out something, they find out, but it doesn't have to be from you. You don't have to have a bullhorn and be ready. Ooh, I got to show. I got to. No, 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 no. Another one. If you're going out of town, go out of town. Have a good time on your trip. But you ain't got to post some pictures. Wait until you return from the trip and you're like back at home, then upload the pictures. If you're that determined, if it means so much to you, I'm giving out gems, free game. I'm giving out jewels. These things that I am naming will keep you from the energy of the Five of Pentacles. Having people try to sabotage, cross you, slander your character, destroy what you are building, having you in the energy of devastation or heartache. Okay? Has to be more careful. And Spirit is showing up, saying yes. Keep it quiet. Keep it to yourself. You don't need to announce it. You don't need to announce it. You don't know what a person does or who they are once they turn their back. A person can present anything to you, collective, but who they are and what they're involved in and things they're connected to when they turn their back, nobody knows. And that goes for all of us. When a person turns the corner, you don't know what they're going to get into. When your spouse is out of your face, you don't know who your spouse is going to connect with. And I'm not talking about an affair necessarily. I'm speaking of all things in general. You don't know. So it's not about being afraid or paranoid. No, live your life. Mingle. Make friends. Travel. Purchase the things you want, but be smart. Be wise. Stop announcing everything. You may like high-end clothing, labels, brands, expensive tastes. That's okay. You can do that. But you don't have to get on social media and announce it and show it. Why don't you just purchase it? And when you wear it, people will see it. That kind of ish. You don't have to announce everything. You don't have to drop crumbs so that the energy will lure itself to you. It's all about maintaining your peace and your well-being, protecting yourself and your loved ones, enjoying life. We have free will, enjoying life, being abundant, being prosperous, traveling the world, experiencing all the things, whether it's jewelry, clothing, shoes, clothes, property, whatever it is, Bitcoin, whatever, but we don't have to announce it. And those who feel that they need to announce it, that's someone who is looking for validation. You're looking for validation. If you're so determined to announce and show everybody what you're doing every minute and beat of the day, you're looking for validation. And that right there is a deeper issue and something you need to reflect on. That could be pretty risky and dangerous if you're looking for validation from other people outside of you. And these people are not living your life. They don't have the responsibilities you have. They're not walking your shoes. They're walking in their own shoes. And we got to be mindful of seeking validation from people outside of us because, like I always, lately, not always, lately I've been speaking on how there's a lot of, unfortunately, nobody is perfect. We all have situations in life, but unfortunately, collective, there are a lot of people who are going around on a daily who are unhealed, insecure, and broken. They are spiritually disheveled. And they put on a smile or they put on some nice clothes or something, and they can dress it up, but really on the inside they're broken, or they have low self-esteem, they're insecure, they're in lack, they don't love themselves. So how can we seek validation from people outside of us? And these people are broken themselves. They're trying to find their own way. They're trying to find their own niche. We roam amongst a lot of soulless beings. Ooh, ooh wee. We roam amongst a lot of soulless beings. A lot of NPCs, non-playable characters. A lot of people who are unaware and have no idea of who they are, or what's taking place, or what direction to go in, nor do they want to know. And some of them may tell you they're not interested. Like to your face, like, yeah, I know all that, but I ain't interested. But to each his own, we have free will. People can do what they want. It's their life. But the moral of this is just to, move smart, enjoy life, do you, whatever you desire, but be smart about it. Be smart about it. Protect yourself, protect your family. There's something about, and it's obvious here, this positive energy that you're in, these steps of progress that you are making. There are people observing that, and there are people who have turned into chatty patties regarding your progress. Some are happy for you, as I just mentioned, and they're in awe and shocked at how responsible you are and how you're able to maintain. But that's because you're doing the work, and you've shifted your perception, and you trust and know that there's a higher power working for you. Doesn't matter what your belief system is, all are welcome on this channel. And that's why you're able to sit on your throne, male or female. No one gets to the throne without earning their rite of passage. You've been there and you've done that. I said earlier, it looks and feels like you're someone who has went into reflection mode. I don't know what happened, but something occurred in your life. I picked up observation that you have witnessed some people experience some things, and you said to yourself, well, when it's my turn, I'm going to do better. So that could be it. But something like a light switch switched on in you, and you have been just taking care of business, with different levels of your life, taking care of yourself, pouring into you, your health, your wealth, your peace, because in order to have the abundance and the prosperity and be able to hold on to your coins and have a positive relationship when it comes to money and not be in lack or feeling like you're binded or bonded to an unhealthy situation, that is someone who is doing the work. Working on one area in your life when it comes to progress, it creates a domino effect, and it spreads out throughout your life. You work on one area, it'll lead to you working in another direction. You'll pivot, and then prosperity will happen with that. Having a positive relationship with your finances, may lead to you working out more in the gym. Okay, you're increasing, you're enhancing your health. Okay, that may work. Turn from there to being able to accomplish more positive relationships that has reciprocity, equal give and take. Okay, and that may pivot from there, from being able to communicate effectively and efficiently, knowing how to deal with a plethora or a variety of different people. Doesn't matter what their cultural background is. What their race is, you're able to adapt and communicate effectively and efficiently. You're someone who knows how to get it done. So you work on one area and it will take a domino effect throughout your life in a positive way. Okay? So beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. Okay. So much so with the Seven of Cups, you have so many options, So it's worth it doing the work. And that's one thing people don't get it, They watch and monitor other people make progress. Some are happy for you, some aren't. They become jealous and angry, The goal is you have to do the work individually. Nothing's going to fall into your lap. And because we all are uniquely, individually, divinely created, we all have our own path, our own mission. And so we can't duplicate and imitate each other's lives. So what you see one person do, that may not be for you. Someone may want to become a lawyer. You may want to be a teacher. Somebody else may want to be a baker, okay? May want to be a chef. What is for someone else may not be for you. You have to find your own way. But many, rather than do the work, they rather try to attach themselves to those who have done the work. So when these options come up, and there's multiple ones, some are good and some aren't so good. But there's a couple of good ones out here, and maybe one or two that isn't so good. But people like to attach themselves to people who have access to things like this, networking ability, associates who are possibly work in high places, people who are well off or wealthy or well connected. And so people will latch on and they'll pretend like they're interested in you romantically, or they'll try to become a friend, or, hang out around you, watch you and monitor you. People will study you also, collective, to see what you have to offer, to see what you have that they can take or you will be willing to give to them. Now, if you meet someone and you're talking like I'm talking, right away they're going to run because they're going to say, their light bulb is on. I can't get over on them. If you meet someone that is like that, because everyone isn't like that. There are some people out here who have their own and they're not looking to try to sabotage or lean on, but there are a portion of people who are not willing to do the work. And so Spirit is saying, don't allow these people to lean on you and all the blood, sweat, and tears and the work you have put in, and the sacrifices you have made, for your life to be in this condition, for you to experience a life such as what I am presenting here. This is work that you have put in, and they must do the work also. There is no shortcuts. Often people think it is, they daydream about the Nine of Cups. They desire it, they daydream about it, but it's all about doing the work to get there. Because, we give a lot of our time and energy to people, places, and things that really holds no value. And, if we take some of those moments out of the 24 hours and of the 365, of the year that they say, according to the Gregorian calendar, we will be pretty much ahead, all of us. So we have to be mindful of what we give our attention to. And so, as this depiction, as this kitten here is looking up, it looks like they're just mesmerized. And so this Nine of Cup energy is the energy of someone watching you achieve and be successful, and they're mesmerized. But they're mesmerized for the wrong reasons. They want to get their hands on some. They're like, yeah, come over there and get some of that. Yeah. Or maybe you're on social media. Maybe they see you doing something on social media, and this could be someone that you haven't talked to in a while. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to go see what's going on over there. Yeah, I see the sun is shining over there. It's cloudy where I'm at. I'll go over there and get some of that sunshine, because some people are smart and dumb at the same time. They really think, and I don't care how long it's been, you can't always get that old thing back. But there are people who really feel, collective, that they can just get back into your life, get back into your good wishes. They don't understand, an exit is an exit, When you're in, but when you out, you are out. And it's not without a doubt. And so there's somebody with me saying that who's feeling they can get back into your good graces. They figure time has passed, the collective has gotten over it. They've forgotten all about it, but you haven't forgot about it. Look, your swords, you got 3 here and 1 on the side. This one on the side, yeah, you're resting, but you haven't forgot. This doesn't mean you're in fear either. That sword means, yeah, I know who I am. I know where I come from, and I know how hard I've worked. And so that sword lays right there. I wish a ninja would. Okay? You remember the deceit, the betrayal with the 7 of Swords. You remember all of this. Okay? You're not holding on to it. You've forgiven them and you've forgiven yourself. But you've moved on. This person feels they can get into your good graces. They see, and they're willing to fight to get there. They could be maybe asking about you. There could be people saying, look, don't ask me about that. I'm not sharing that with you. I'm not giving them your address. I'm not giving you their address, that kind of thing. But they're trying their hardest to gather, information on you through people, through communication. But you're the one. Spirit is saying, don't forget, you're the one who has done all the hard work. You've made the sacrifices. You've done the work. You've been committed. And it's been some years. You've been working on yourself for some years, maybe two to 5 years or longer. and you're progressing, day by day. It's getting better and better for you each month after month, year after year. It's getting increasingly well. And there is that person from the past, that six of cups, that old energy. Want to come where new energy is. Tell them you in a two-seater. You ain't got no room. Say that seat's taken, sir. That seat's taken. Ain't no more room. I'm in a two-seater. The high priestess, very wise, well accomplished. You're not letting this person back in. I don't believe you're gonna do it. I don't believe it. I don't believe you're gonna do that. The sun is shining where you at. You're in the star energy here. I have to cover them up, okay? Cover the tatas up. You're in the star energy. You got a lot of light energy over here. You could be an earth angel, okay? Very intuitive, very grounded. Remember, it's because you chose to walk away and make the change. That's why the will is changing in your favor. You've earned the right to be here, and they have to get off their butts and go earn the right to be in their moment of bliss or walking on their path. They have to do the work. Do not allow these or this person, because it could be a group of people, to disturb your flow of peace and balance. Spirit is saying, say no, and that's it. You don't have to be confrontational. You don't have to go on rage. No, thank you. No. What's your phone number? I don't have one. Straight up, I don't have one. Or hell no. Or why? Oh, you got me about to cut up. That old ish is over with the death card here. It's over with. It's gone. It's gone. And they're trying to bring it back to life. It's gone. You've made the transformation. Continue to sit in your bliss, you, your family, the new baby, the new house, the new car, the vacation, starting your business, whatever this purchase or this new beginning is for you, collective. Keep moving forward respectfully, gracefully. Stay grateful and keep the haters out the way. Keep you some haterade spray. Every now and then, just spray it. It's called Hate Be Gone spray. Just keep you some haterade spray and just spray it, okay? But enjoy all that you have worked for. You are so deserving. Later.